Sam Smash, currently working as a booker and coordinator, former security, former head of security.
All right, so walk us through the process of getting started for a show for when you were working security.
Do you want to know how I got involved with security, or
We'll come back to that.
Okay. Process for. Show up before doors, generally about a half hour before doors. Clear house, make sure everyone lined up, make sure the volunteers that were volunteering for the night got to the office so they can do the rundown for the volunteer rundown, tell them what jobs they're doing, when they're switching out, that type of thing. Other than that, it was doing a patrol. You're walking down the street in between bands, keeping watch outside, doing a patrol inside, making sure there was no bullshittery going on or drinking in the bathrooms, that type of thing.
So, what kind of stuff do you look out for when you're doing your rounds outside during the shows? No bullshittery. What is that?
We got strict rules here at Gilman Street. When I was working, you just tried to keep an eye on everyone. You could generally tell when there's beef or things are starting to pop. Cliques tend to move away from each other. So you're gonna want to, you're keeping an eye out for that. Drinking down the street, so you know you're walking down the street. Drinking down the street was one thing, was like, you didn't see it, you didn't say anything about it, but if you saw it, you had to say something about it. Making sure the kids weren't hanging out in front of neighbors' houses or in front of the church or anywhere within 1 block radius of the club.
Sure.
Pretty fucking simple.
Yeah. What was like the craziest thing you had to break up? Or
there was that time we made it on to Boston Beatdown #2. Dave Scattered caught a sandwich sign and a cinder block to the head. I caught a sandwich board to the back. We wound up just, if they wanted to fight, we pushed the people outside and then we locked the doors and let them fight. Riot cops showed up, that type of thing. That was, and it's on YouTube. There was the time that we tased the cop. That was fun.
what happened there?
There was this dude, he was harassing young women at the venue. We told him to, he was actually playing that night, so it made for an interesting situation. We couldn't just, drag him around the corner. So I was posted up at the front door, and I was standing in the doorway, and him and his buddy walked back up, and I was just like, yo, hey, you're not coming back in. We got complaints that you were harassing some of the young women here. That type of shit's not welcome. You're not coming back in. He started arguing for a couple of minutes. Then his buddy, who had slipped on a pair of brass, took a swing at me, split me open from here to here. We started fighting. One of our homies, Jackal, who was working with us, he had a taser. And it just so happened that one of our patrol cops was passing by. She stopped, got out of the car, started trying to... She knew who we were. We were in red security shirts. It was kind of obvious who the fuck we were. She started helping us tackle this person. And then Jackal, being the jackass that he is, grabs his taser and just starts tasing the guy. Well, I'm holding on to this motherfucker. The cop's grabbing onto this dude. Jackal's grabbing onto this other dude. Like, we're all in this big pile, and he just decides to hit someone with the taser. Now, when you hit someone, the way electricity works is it doesn't just stop. Like, it travels through everyone who's touching it. So he's grabbing onto him and just, and like we're all just fucking froze until his taser starts smoking. Like he blew up his fucking taser. We all just kind of like we're just stop, look at him, like the fuck are you doing? And then we go back to fighting. Like tasers are not effective. But yeah, so that was that. Dude got thrown in the drunk tank. Cop tried to get us to press charges, and we're like, nah, it's cool.
So like, when you were doing security, what was the process of like when you had to involve police? Like how did that?
We tried not to.
Well, yeah, but how did you kind of go through that negotiation about whether or not to involve police? Like,
was there a gun? Was there a knife?
So how did you get started doing security?
I was 15 when I first volunteered to work security. Yeah, I was 15. I'd already been volunteering at the club for some time, and I wanted to step up my game. I wanted to do something else. Coordinating seemed boring, and security, there's a possibility of getting paid. So I volunteered for a year before getting brought on as like paid trainee is what we called it. You got $30 and yeah, you showed up and you worked. When they thought you were good enough, they brought you on as full paid security and made paid trainee after a year. Another 6 months after that, I was paid security, and I started working at 16. Actually, Gilman Street was my first paid job.
Cool. That's actually interesting. So why is security one of the only volunteer positions that actually has a possibility of getting paid?
You need security. You need paid security, paid staff security when you're running a live venue. It's something to do with the state law or whatever, and insurance and blah, what the fuck ever. So, I don't know the details on it. I know, like, if you own a bar, venue, anything like that, you gotta have paid security if you have people over. So yeah, it's more of a necessity than, you know, plus, I mean, you're dealing with so much bullshit. Like, I mean, I don't know, wait, fuck, when I was working here, I mean, it would be monthly I'd be going to the hospital. I mean, like, I learned how to set my own fucking fingers because I got sick of going to the hospital. Like, busted noses, and like broken fingers. It's just part of the gig.
So how did when you work in security, how did you like interact with like the community around Gilman? Like I remember that you told me one story about the crazy neighbor who used to live up the street.
Oh, the fucking crazy guy, yeah. The 5149 and a half. That dude was fucking nuts. Yeah, that dude was definitely a cop call.
Didn't he?
Yeah. First time I met him, he pulled a gun. I was 17 and he just moved to the neighborhood and moved here, like, so his kid could actually go to the fucking venue, and he got pissed off when people were hanging out at the venue. So we went down because he was complaining about, he was ranting and raving and threatening patrons. He was threatening patrons like down near his house. So I went down there to try to deal with it, and you know, I'm talking to him and whatever. And the guy's screaming from his front porch, and I step onto his property like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know, like I step, like, "Can we talk about this?" And he's like, "You're trespassing," and pulls a fucking pistol. And he points the fucking pistol at me. I'm a 17-year-old kid, and I'm getting drawn on by a grown-ass man. So Yeah, we wind up calling the cops. The cops deal with them, and they're like, wow, yeah, that guy's fucking 51, 49 and a half. I wish we could take him in, but he's just a jackass. Stay the fuck away from him. He's crazy. Just stay away from him. I mean, we used to set up meetings between local law enforcement, the people in charge of the beat officers and the beat cops themselves, to try to, you know, like establish a working relationship. That was actually really difficult. We had a couple of cool cops. We had a couple of dick cops. I mean, I enjoyed working with the law enforcement that we had. They understood that we were just a bunch of shitty kids, and they were just trying to keep the people that weren't shitty kids away from us. We were trying to, you know, keep our influence away from them. And when we established that, like, we're gonna police, when we established the relationship of Gilman Street's just gonna police themselves, and then they started understanding, like, yo, if they're getting a 911 from us, then it's serious. But other than that, just leave us alone. Leave us alone. Like, they're gonna ticket when they ticket. They're gonna arrest when they arrest. But, you know, like, we tried to establish as best of a working relationship as we could.
Okay. Good. Thanks, man.